Hey everybody, Chef Kimber Dean. I'm back and I want to show you guys how to make your own sweetened Pepita milk and then also an adaptogen latte with that. So we'll go ahead and get started. I have my almond cow here. I love my almond cow. Check one of these out if you're interested. You don't have to soak your nuts. You don't have to strain them through a nut bag. I've got the water only filled up to minimum height because I want a really creamy, rich milk for this. I'm gonna go ahead and just start putting in all the stuff I want to make it seasoned for this sweetened Pepita milk. We have sea salt. You do about 1/8 of a teaspoon. Vanilla extract. Maple syrup. And then we're gonna add our pepitas. Pepitas are raw pumpkin seeds. I get them from nuts.com, obviously. They're really high in protein, magnesium, they're high in zinc, which helps with hormone balance. It also is a phytoestrogen, which helps us ease menstrual cycle symptoms. So just really great overall for health, hormone balance, wellness. And then I just put my pepita seeds in here. So I measured them out, put them in, and I love this green because pistachios and pepitas will turn the milk green as well, which is really fun for kids. So you just put that basket on here and then you line up this little nose, place it on top of its plug-in, and then you're gonna grab your plug. So you obviously don't want it plugged in when you fill it up with your filtered water if you're doing it over the sink. And then plug this in. It has a cute little almond cow on the top here. And then we're gonna press that and it's gonna do 3 cycles of blending this up. So it was that simple, that quick and easy. I stood here the whole time. I've done this thousands and thousands of times at home. This is the home size. I've also used the commercial size one that's a lot bigger. We just take this off here. And this little screen is still on, and this is what it's gonna strain through. I wanna just show you. I'm actually gonna save this because I am going to make an anti-inflammatory granola recipe with this. Watch after this and I'll show you how to make that recipe. But it just makes this really pretty green pulp. So it is kind of making milk go everywhere. But if you have to be quick, you can dump it into a strainer and make sure it's really fine and let it strain a little bit quicker. And that meal is what I'm gonna save. And we used to do this at my cafes. We would save the meal, and I'm gonna do it at my next cafes because I love it so much. We would toast it by itself. So just lay it flat on a pan, toast it. You're stirring it every 5 to 8 minutes and until it gets dried out completely. I would even leave it overnight after that and just really let it dry out. Blend it and it turns into almond flour, so toasted almond flour. So we use that in our breads, our energy bites, our muffins, our crust, granola. So that's what I want to show you how to do here with the granola. High protein, all that fiber, so good for you. But we are talking about the milk. So let's get back to the milk here. Take this off and you can see it's green. Sometimes you gotta swirl it a little bit to get the bottom up. The sweeteners are a little bit heavier, especially honey. Sometimes I'll take a spatula or a whisk and kind of swirl it up here. It does have a lot of foam, which will be perfect for our latte. If you don't want that, maybe let it settle and then stir it before you pour so it doesn't separate. Look how pretty that is. This beautiful light green color. It is so fun. Cheers. Oh my gosh, like the perfect sweetness. So good. My kids love this. They use it in their cereal. We make hot chocolates with it. We put it in our smoothies. Cheers if this is all you're making is your Pepita milk. Helps get rid of parasites. There's so many benefits to pepitas, and it's always just really fun to mix up and rotate what you're drinking with your milk so that your body's getting the most nutrients it can. I hope you love this recipe. Everybody, we're back. I've got everything ready for the granola. We're gonna start making our anti-inflammatory granola with the pulp from the Pepita milk that we just made, and then we're gonna enjoy this with our adaptogen latte. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I just melted my coconut oil in my oven. It's already preheated to 350. I've got pepitas, which are raw pumpkin seeds again, just to keep that theme going. Raw cashew pieces, sliced almonds, and chia seeds. And then we're just gonna add this. I was letting this finished straining. I had some left over from my freezer, so I like to freeze it, that I could use, so I had enough for this. Just toss that in there. And dump our coconut oil, make sure it's melted. I'm gonna measure out my maple syrup. You could always use honey, any sort of sweetener that you enjoy. For our flavor, for the anti-inflammatory, I'm gonna do cinnamon, turmeric, and ginger. You could always just do cinnamon if you don't wanna do the turmeric and the ginger, or you just don't have it on hand. Now that we have all of our seasonings in here, we have our sweetener, we have our oil to help bind it, I'm just gonna start mixing everything together. So I love doing extra flavor, spices that I know are helping my body heal. So that turmeric is anti-inflammatory. We've got the ginger that aids in digestion, which who doesn't want to eat something that helps us stay skinny? I'm finishing up here, just mixing this together, incorporating all that flavor. We want the oil to be well mixed in, especially the flavor, the maple, the seasonings. This is really high in protein. This has a ton of minerals, vitamins. This is so great. You can use it as granola on yogurt, ice cream, maybe a bar if you make bars. You could do it on parfaits as your cereal in the morning. So lots of ways to use this. We actually use this to top our acai berry bowls at Nourish. I have a prepared pan here. So this just has a silk mat. You could do wax paper, parchment paper, and we're gonna dump this on. It looks beautiful and perfect. You could always change up the seeds, the nuts. You could do flax instead of chia. I just love mixing this up and rotating all the nutrients, but it tastes so good. Once you get it all in the pan, just start to evenly spread it out and make sure that the middle is less thick or thinner than the edges, because that's gonna take longer to cook. If you wanted this to cook even faster, you could do 2 pans and do half and half, and that might make it easier. If you have a roasting pan with edges and you're a messy chef or cook, maybe use one of those when you first make this until you get better at it. And I just love the way this makes my house smell, the way it makes my cafe smell. I'm gonna leave that there. The next thing that we put into this granola that makes it so special, toasted coconut flakes. So you can buy these at certain wellness and specialty stores. All right, that gave me a little bit of trouble opening it. Keep scissors near you if you need to. But these are just raw coconut flakes. So we toast them with maple. Again, any sweetener that you like. I'm just gonna eyeball this. I'll leave a recipe on this video. I love toasted coconut flakes. Again, great on an acai berry bowl, yummy on parfaits, ice cream. If you're trying to get that healthy fat in there for your body, this is such an easy way to do it, and it tastes so good. My kids actually eat it like chips. So I put it in their lunches or their snacks, and they will just eat this by the handful. I love it. Makes your house smell good. And you just want to massage it in. If you've seen my massaged kale video, it's just like that. This is looking really good. Let's try some, since this is for me. Woo! I went a little heavy on the maple intentionally. Wipe off your hands. Try to get all of that off. It's so yummy. You don't want to leave any behind. When we toast coconut, it cooks really quick and it can burn so stinking fast. I've watched it happen hundreds of times at my restaurants. So we want to be stirring every 2 to 3 minutes. Don't walk out of the kitchen. Don't walk away from this. The granola, on the other hand, takes a little bit longer, especially if you're using the pulp and you're not using store-bought flour, almond flour, coconut flour. You want to let it cook a little bit longer, depending on how thick and wet your pulp is. So just stay near your house, be there for a while if you're doing this. But we're gonna throw these in, and then I'll just show you guys how I pull it out and how I cook it. Our first timer went off. Let's grab these out and see what they look like. Just go ahead and mix these up. So again, the coconut flake always goes quicker than the granola. So I just wanna make sure I pay a lot of attention to it. The granola looks perfect. And again, I might leave this in for about 15 minutes in the beginning just to really try to dry that out. Stirring it. So you don't have to get it perfect every time. Just getting it as flat as you can because you're gonna do this a lot, and then throw it back in. You can see that the edges are starting to get that golden brown down there. So we'll just stir this. It'll probably be done in about another round or two, I would assume. And you see it's only brown on one side. Everyone's oven, every commercial home oven I've ever cooked out of always has a hot spot. Usually the back into a corner, but it can always be to the front. Don't get me wrong. Don't trust that for everyone. We'll get it mixing this up. Oh, it's so beautiful. It smells so good. And we'll throw that guy right back in. And look at that. Perfectly toasted. Oh my gosh, it does. It toasts so quick. So you just leave this out and we let it cool completely and dry from here. I'm gonna set this to the side and let it cool while the rest of our granola cooks. I'm gonna show you how to make a simple adaptogen latte. We're gonna get started with some Pepita milk. You could use almond, coconut, cashew, flax, oat. I mean, there's so many milks you can use. I made this myself. It's sweetened with maple syrup. I have vanilla extract in it to give it a little bit vanilla flavor. We'll go ahead and get started. For our adaptogen latte, you wanna put your milk in. We're gonna turn it on medium high. You never wanna scald your milk or have it burn at the bottom. We don't want to overcook it to where it foams over the pot and makes a huge mess. I'm gonna add 1 to 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. You could add honey, agave, date syrup, coconut nectar. You could use stevia if you don't wanna use any of these. I have maca, reishi mushroom, and ashwagandha as my adaptogens in this. You could use different mushrooms, different adaptogens. These are great for overall hormone balance. They're also great for reducing stress, regulating cortisol. They boost libido and they also help with energy. That's why I chose these ones. You could add matcha in here. That was one of my favorite things at my cafes was our adaptogen latte with matcha. I just love matcha. It's that green tea, drink it in the morning, get a little caffeine, all those antioxidants, so good for your skin. While that starts to heat up, I'm gonna get just a little whisk and start whisking this together. All right, if you had a little frother here, you could have a hand frother and it'll just make some foam on top. If you have a nice espresso machine, you could just heat this up and foam it in that. That's what we did at our cafes, or that's what I've done a lot in my cafes. And it does foam pretty well. It doesn't get as tight as those dairy milks or the plant-based milks with the gums, but you can get a foam in it if you use a nice high quality espresso machine. I just do this. I don't drink espresso. I drink my coffee black, drip coffee. So this is just how I do it on my stovetop. And as you can see, it's starting to warm up. Warm it up to the temperature you want to drink it at. I don't recommend a simmer or a boil. You see that steam, you see some froth on there, that's perfect for me. I want to be able to taste it right now and not have to wait. We'll go ahead and pour it in here. And this is not a 16-ounce cup, so you can always do less milk, less ingredients. This recipe is for a 16-ounce cup, but we have our cup. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little cinnamon on top. Oh, so fun. You could put a cinnamon stick in it if you were serving it with your friends. I'm gonna give it a try. Oh my gosh. This is so yummy. It is the middle of February. It's almost the end of winter. It's gloomy. It's been raining all week. I cannot believe how yummy this is. This is bringing back so many nostalgic memories for me in my cafes with customers and just enjoying these with them. Oh, I really hope you guys make this. I really hope you enjoy it. Share it with your friends, your family. And look at how beautiful our anti-inflammatory granola turned out. You can see that everything's starting to get toasted. You can make it a little bit browner if you wanted it a little bit crispier, but I think this is perfect. We're gonna let this cool overnight before we add our maple toasted coconut flakes. So if you wanna try those, you can, Reese. And then we've got our Adaptogen Latte with the Pepita milk. And then this is made with that Pepita meal in it. So I'm gonna try some. You like?
I'm scared. I don't know if it's hot. I'm scared.
Oh, it is hot.
Oh, never mind.
Well, that tastes amazing together. The turmeric, the adaptogens, cinnamon, ginger, all of it tastes really good. I'll show you at the end once this is cooled how this all comes together, and then let us know what you want us to make next time.
Like and subscribe down below.
Like and subscribe. Let us know what you want us to make next, and next time you see Reese, she will not be 6 anymore. Bye, guys.
Bye.